Good evening, Mr. Romany Rye. Um, just before COVID, I got in contact with my cousins in Plymouth, my blood relations. There's Cyril, Alfie, and Harry Falgate. Now, their mother was called Florrie Ware, which was me grandfather's sister. Now, for years, I had minimal contact with him, really. I knew him by sight, and other than Harry Falgate, but all they Falgates, they wouldn't have some brilliant musicians. They could sit down and play anything. Harry Falgate, he was a genius. Drums, keyboards, pianos, piano accordions, guitars, whatever you wanted to play, he could play it. Masterman. But they had pubs when they grew up, Prue. So I never really had a lot to do with them. So I got on to them for a family reunion, as it were, to get to know them and see what they could tell me of their memories, because they was a bit older than me. I'm in my 60s and they were sort of in their 70s, early 80s. So they were probably 20 years older than me, I suppose. Anyway, I got at him, and they finally agreed to this meet. So, where do you want to meet now? Bearing in mind they live in Plymouth, and I'm in Exeter, so it ain't that far. I just as well drove to Plymouth. But anyway, they wanted to meet in Tavistock. So, I said, that's okay. So I got Harry, the one that I knew the most, to book us a table in a restaurant. So when I got there, I said, look, have whatever's on the menu, whatever you want, this whole thing is on me. Oh, no, we'll pay for ourselves. I said, no, it's on me. So anyway, walks into this place, and there they are. But then, like, free, fragile old gearys, like. So I gets chatting to him, and I drops a little bit of Romanus in. Nothing, blank. So they was free, real, rank gorgies. No other way to describe them. And their memories weren't the best. So, in some ways, I was a little bit disappointed. Because bearing in mind now, all my dad's family, apart from Aunt Clarice, or the boys anyway, they'd all gone on, passed away. So I'm now so eager to find out things that I'm asking them questions that they can't answer. So I'm thinking to myself, this is the handy thing this is. I come all this way down, pester for that in this, and really, I haven't got anywhere. They was, like I said, like free old gyros, like, But anyway, they did send me this letter. which confirmed a few things for me. Now, it seems that my great-grandfather was called Robert Thomas Ware. Now, he was born within the Bow Bells of London. It said, born in the sound of Bow Bells. Born in the sound, which makes him a proper Cockney. So that was all right. But then they go on to say that we was related to, it's either Dunes or Duns, the hat makers of London. Very wealthy, well-to-do people. Now, apparently, they had a servant called Bessie Penfold. Now, I can't confirm this. This is what they've told me. Now, she got together with my great-grandfather. And the family took exception to it because she was a gypsy. From Bridgewater, as far as I know. I've got to do a bit more research on this yet. But she worked as a servant, and then, when they disowned him, he went on to buy a cell of gallopers. So she worked in the cash box at the fair. So I'm reading this off of this thing that they sent me down. So I don't really know. I can't confirm it. This is what they've told me. Because I was expecting to go and meet some chavvies, these chavvies that I met, like myself. But no, rock or nothing. They couldn't. Right, so the family didn't approve of the courtship. And they got disowned and cut off. So apparently, according to this, they moved to a place called Catdown in Plymouth. And they was living in Showman's Wagons in Devonport. So that's where they was. Now these are these letters, just to show everybody that they sent me. Sent me a load of photographs with it as well. So apparently they had a chandler's shop as well. Then they moved to Mill Bay Road, living in the yard in wagons. Aunt Lily and Aunt Flo was married from there. Plymstock was the last home Gran and Grandad had. She had 2 or 3 strokes which left her speechless and walking defeated. My grandfather and grandmother was married from there as well. So that goes to show that history has repeated itself all the way down the line. Because my grandfather married a woman that his family didn't want him to have, Bessie Penfold. I gotta confirm that one. I confirm that he married her because I've got the family tree there. So there was those 2. Then that went down to me father and my mother, where the Ware family didn't want my father to have my mother. And then that came right down to me, where my family didn't want me to have Jet. But the point of it was, and I can never say anything other, I don't know any other young girl that would have took on my mother the way that Jed did. And my mother wouldn't just let anybody touch her, you see. So, really, to hell with all that shit, because let's come down, look, from them generations, look. The gypsy wasn't good enough to marry my grandfather. My father and my mother wouldn't, who was a gypsy, wouldn't make man good enough to marry my father. And my woman, who was a gorgie, wasn't good enough to marry me. So it's carried its way down through the generations. Look. And I think it's pretty sad, really. But I do have a photograph here. And I cannot find it for love nor money. But I will find it. It's of my great-grandfather in London with a horse and a trolley wagon. He must have been a general dealer, hawker or whatever you want to call it. And it says on it, Dad Ware with Gay Bird, 1909. Now, he was a very smart man. You could tell he was a money man because he had a lovely suit on, a lovely top hat, and a lovely gold watch and chain. So, you could tell what sort of people they were. But going back even further, because I'm going back many years now, I had a letter from Australia, you know. And I never even considered that I had relatives in Australia. But it turned out that my great-great-great-grandfather was deported from London for choring ducks. Now, he got caught once doing it. They fined him and warned him. I think it was 2 weeks later, he chored some more like cannies and ducks. Anyway, he got nailed for that. And he got sent to Tasmania. That much I do know, because it's on record. Now, I think when he left, he had 6 children here. When he went to Tasmania, and when he done his time and they let him out, for however long that was, he ended up with 14 children. So I'm thinking to myself that they must be my descendants over there to have sent me a letter here. So I have got family somewhere in Australia. But obviously, you if you don't know them and you don't have any contact, you don't know. But that all makes sense to me now. But that's where my grandfather's love of the fair come from, see. And he loved they gallopers. Because he was in there with Bibsy Whiteleg every Whitsun fair or when he was in Madroof. And he worked the gallopers. But I sat there with him. I sat on the horse and I would go round and round and round all day. But he had a lot of friends in the fair, my grandfather. Bibsy Whiteleg, there was all of them. I'm trying to think of them now. They're gone now. Mickey Carley was another one. Mickey Carley. He had the boxing booth. I never used to have to pester to go into nothing. Walk around with my grandfather and he used to say, get on, have a ride. And we used to go, me and he then used to go and watch the organ everywhere that organ went. And somewhere he had a lovely collection of Feral Organ records. I don't know whatever happened to him. But that's the Ware family. So we are in fact related. We were in fact related to the Duns or Dunes hat makers in London. So we descend from there. I will find out a little bit more. So I just want to take 5 minutes now to tell everybody who watches me on channel that I am going to be releasing my self-penned album of songs and stories next week. There'll be 7 or 8 songs and 3 or 4 poems that I've written over the years, and I'm hoping to release that next week. So if anybody sees this and they want a copy, please contact me. They'll be $5.99, and I'll see how it goes. So for now, it's bye-bye from the Romany Rye, and I'll catch you next time.